Hey, what's going on out there? Everybody, this is your boy J Dash. This is another Play the Objective on Crash with Dash. And today we're going to go over another advanced technique that's situational, but if you're in the situation, you need to not forget about it. So we have been talking about, if you followed my first video, which I will link in here for advanced techniques, about blunt cancelable close normals on block, where you don't get the weapon reflect like this, and these are still moves that are cancelable up close, and they create a different situation that you're gonna, basically a different type of pressure that you can put on people, because you are going to be at heavy frame advantage on the startup of special moves when you cancel into them, just due to the fact that you are not they're still in their block stun while you're starting your special move. And I chose these two characters for a reason, just to kind of give you an example of the advantages you can get, and these kind of tie to a couple of other videos that I've made. Because what I want to talk about is when they don't have their weapon. Because when they don't have their weapon, everything changes in this game. Because now that is a blunt normal with no weapon reflect when you do it, just like it was before, but so are your sword attacks. They become those cancelable normals, and they now you put yourself in a situation where you're at even better frame advantage on a lot of these moves. See? Look at that. Look at that. They're still in block stun while you're going for the DP or the fireball, and you know, just other things that you can do. You just have to kind of discover, what can I do to get myself, you know, these extra pressure moves that normally I didn't have enough block stun to do. These little situational things, but now I do. Like, this becomes a much better tick grab, because at first, when we went over tick grabs, I was telling you can do the option select with forward K into the tick grab, where essentially they either eat the low kick or they eat the tick grab, and they're both safe, you know. But now you have another tick grab for Tam Tam off of this down medium, because the down medium has much more. Look at the difference in the block stun between stand light, down medium, and I'm canceling that down medium instantly into his tick grab, or into his grab. Boom, look at that. So it's like right when they get out of block stun, I now have a real grab, a tick grab that we were saying is kind of a situational cheese thing. Well, no, it's no longer a situational cheese thing when we do it like that. I mean, what can they do to certain things like this? So that's all I'm saying is, like, you know, you really need to start exploring all the crazy things we can do in this game with these blunt, these where there's no weapon reflect. And as we can see, when they lose weapons, it's much crazier, right? It's much crazier. So I would say, you know, every character in this game has the ability to obviously reflect weapons and get weapons out, but I would say to definitely explore with your characters to see what you can create. And you know, there's just so much more to this game than meets the eye. We're still playing this game on the surface level instead of digging deeper. And that's really what when you do, when you start digging deeper, so we can push ourselves to become better. And Shiki, if you watch my tutorial video with Shiki yesterday, you'll see that I was telling you all that Shiki is a very defensive character. She does not fit the archetype of her look, where she's heavy rush down and all these things. And one of the biggest reasons I told you that Shiki was a very defensive character is because all of her normals, whether they be close or far, are the same. Let me take them off block so you guys can see this. And I'll link the Shiki tutorial video as well on how I would play Shiki. And we could see that they're the same. It doesn't matter if they're close or far, she has the same normal. And because she uses her weapon on all of them, and because she uses her weapon on all of them, they all give you the weapon reflect. All of them do, with the exception of her standing decay. And same with this is also true with Nakaruru. So I would, any Nakaruru users out there, I would implore you to try what exactly I'm explaining to you guys right now, to see what you can create off of this. Because remember, if you watched my game plan on Shiki, Shiki revolves all around her supers, and she's got two of the best supers in the game that are full screen punishes and things like that. And I told you guys that Shiki, her game plan revolves around weapon flipping technique. And if this isn't proof enough, because remember, stand light, stand medium, down medium are all cancelable. Without their weapon, they get no weapon reflect. They get none whatsoever. They do not push you back at all. Meaning you can get into Shiki's cheese a lot easier now off of anything. You can get into her cheese now. So that's what I'm trying to say, is this should be proof that's Shiki's game plan. And I personally believe that there needs to be a frame data for the people who are working on frame data. Like, man, you guys don't understand. They're putting in work, and I really appreciate what they're doing. But what I'm trying to say is we need to have frame data on block without weapon. Because as we can see, this turns Shiki into a completely different character now. Now that they don't have a weapon, there's no weapon reflect. We can do her cheese all day now for free. You can always get your teleports off safer and things like that, which is as I said, an essential part of her game plan to teleport back. Because you're basically just trying to sneak a whiff in to get the super duper, and this is Shiki's game plan. And so this is why sometimes with Shiki, if you have a lot of health and you can start the round in Rage Explosion, if you don't have any Rage bar, and flip their weapon out. Like, remember what I told you, save your Rage Explosion for round 3. But in some cases for Shiki, it's better to use it just to get their weapon out of their hand versus Isin. So just to get that weapon out of their hand. If I can ever get this weapon out of your hand with Shiki, I'm at a huge advantage, and this is where she really shines, because look at this. I can literally cancel any of these normals right here. Boom. And there's nothing you can do about it. You have to eat whatever mix-up I'm gonna give you off of that. Boom, you have to eat it. Now, if you're playing against Shiki, I just advise you to duck low block everything. For sure to use this, because especially if you don't have your weapon, because the cheese gets stronger when she can literally cancel into that, the low hit grab. But I think this further shows, like, what I was telling you guys with Shiki, where her whole game plan revolves around getting those supers off. And this is why they gave her such good supers. This is why her weapon flipping technique goes full screen, so she can get rid of your weapon, and then when you have no weapon and Shiki has your weapons, you're open to the cheese times 10. And remember what we said about her. She's just a very cheesy character, but that's her game plan. She's a very defensive turtle, but once you lose your weapon, now it's her turn to be offensive. And she just gets access to way more cheese. So for all my Shiki users out there, I just advise you to really think about this character in a different light, and realize that her tools are for punishing with your supers, whether it be her weapon flipping technique or whether it be her super duper. And if you can, as I said, even if you can get them to burn their Rage Explosion for punishing that, well, the rest of the match, you have your Rage. They do not. And as I said, if you start out round 3 with no Rage, you can always, boom, Rage Explosion. Now, you don't have a lot of time, but a grab into weapon flipping technique, and now Shiki is really strong. Right now, she's really strong, because all of these are cancelable. And remember, Shiki has one of the easiest ways to push you off screen to where you can't pick up your weapon, because she has so much mobility, right? Look at all this mobility she gets. So she has so many ways, and then all you do is you sit back and you go into your turtle stance with Shiki, which is basically you sit back, you force them to come to you. If you want to get your weapon, you've got to come to me and you've got to open me up. But now you're in my world, where all of my moves, you're going to be in so much block stun that you're screwed, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I have access to all the cheese moves that I need. Of course, if you're cornering yourself, you don't want to use that. But I have access to all my cheese, and you're going to eat all of this chip, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're just going to eat the chip. Sorry. So that's all I'm saying is this is how this is kind of a follow-up to the Shiki tutorial guide, but I would also just advise everybody to practice seeing your cancelable normals up close when they when they have their weapon, how the block does weapon reflect. Well, remember when they don't have their weapon, it turns into one of those cancelable normals, period. And so I for all the people who are finding frame data, as I said, I really appreciate it, but I think what we need now is frame data for block without weapon as well, because as I said, this changes everything when you can get rid of weapons. So, as I said, this is kind of a follow-up to the Shiki guide. This is kind of a follow-up to the Tick command grabs for Tam Tam, but it's also something that I really, really advise you to try with your character. Go to practice mode, use your weapon flipping technique, get the weapon out of their hands, now do the block stun cancels to see if there's any crazy setups you can create or anything like that. It's just another layer to this game, and this is why I say let's be patient, let's learn everything about the game. This is your boy J Dash. This is another Play the Objective on Crash with Dash. Subscribe, follow me on Twitch if you can lab with me. I do appreciate the support. I will continue to support you guys. Let's level everybody up. That's what we want. We want high level Sam Show. We want Sam Show to steal the show at every tournament it's at. So let's level everybody up, and we can do this together, and we're going to make this game incredible. So I appreciate it. You all have a good one. Peace.